So my top 5 tips that I've learned over the past 15 years of Tranquil Space is really number 1, start small and grow organically. Number 2 is all about creating an experience, right? So this idea of connecting to all of the senses and really sprinkling in the sense of attention to detail and then evoking emotion. I think that's really been at the heart of the creation of Tranquil Space. Number 3, give back. So from donations to silent auctions to different charity events, even to our own nonprofit, Tranquil Space Foundation, this core value's really been at the heart of how we operate. Number 4, cultivate community. So from the very beginning, we have had tea and cookies at the end of every single class. And in addition, over the years, we added Yogi and Team Player of the Month. So a way to really build on this sense of community in a big city that is quite transient. So number 5 is celebrate. So really honoring the milestones, honoring the shifts, the transition, the changes, and all the people that have been a part of this along the way. So the name Tranquil Space, it's a fun story as to how this came to be. The name of the studio to start was Yoga Kimberly's. And I wanted something that evoked a little more emotion and that really kind of spoke to the transition of the studio. And at that time, we were in 1999, 2000, we were on a 4th floor walk up at 16th and U. And we had people coming from as far as McLean, Virginia and Bowie, Maryland. And as we transitioned from my walk up to a church parlor, I wanted to replace Yoga at Kimberly's with something that had the idea of a respite and beckoned the soul to rest. And so that's where the name Tranquil Space came to be. I wanted it to truly be a tranquil space, a haven. And one of the 8 limbs of yoga is pratyahara, and this is withdrawal of the senses. So the ability to be in the midst of chaos and still find stillness. And there's this great quote by Viktor Frankl that says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So that's what I think of with Tranquil Space. It offers the opportunity to practice being with discomfort. Hello, side crow, and some of our more challenging asanas. To practice self-compassion. To practice being in our bodies, and ideally the space to choose our response to the stimuli of daily life. So in that response lies our growth and our freedom from patterns that no longer serve us. May you bask in that space of tranquility, thus Tranquil Space. So my biggest inspirations over the past 15 years, I'd say first off would be The Artist's Way. It's a book that I read in August of 1999 that I totally credit to the launch of Tranquil Space. And it's basically a 12-step program to unleashing your creative side. Highly recommend this book. Secondly would be The E-Myth, which is a phenomenal book that came out, I believe, in the 90s. And it's considered the small business Bible. And it really is focused on this idea of creating systems and creating an experience. The other thing that really helped me with the creation of Tranquil Space is the TV show Cheers, right? And I wanted something similar to Cheers, sans drink is the way I describe my vision for Tranquil Space, where people would walk in
Afternoon, everybody. No!
and people would know their name, which I think is really, really beneficial in a city where, we often don't even know our neighbors' names. And so that was really a big impetus for the idea behind Tranquil Space. Next would be one of my biggest teachers along the way, Sharon Gannon of Jivamukti Yoga. So I did my 300-hour teacher training with her back in 2007. And one of the things that she said that really has stuck with me is that she began teaching yoga to serve as a platform for animal rights. And anyone who knows me knows I'm obsessed with animals. I have been since I was a little girl. And I loved hearing from someone who I really respect with regard to the style of teaching and the depth of teaching, that her teaching of yoga was actually to be a platform for something else that she truly believed in. And then last, I would say one other huge inspiration has been the mantra, Loka samasta sukhi no bhavantu. And this mantra translates to, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. Just a beautiful reminder of living our practice beyond the yoga mat. I want to leave you with one other dose of inspiration that I think is a great reminder on what a profound effect one person can have. A young girl was walking along a beach upon which thousands of starfish had been washed up during a terrible storm. When she came to each starfish, she would pick it up and throw it back into the ocean. People watched her with amusement. She had been doing this for some time when a man approached her and said, "Little girl, why are you doing this? Look at this beach. You can't save all these starfish. You can't begin to make a difference." The girl seemed crushed, suddenly deflated. But after a few moments, she bent down, picked up another starfish, and hurled it as far as she could into the ocean. Then she looked up at the man and replied, "Well, I made a difference to that one." The old man looked at the girl inquisitively and thought about what she'd done and said. Inspired, he joined the little girl in throwing starfish back into the sea. Soon others joined, and all the starfish were saved. Tranquil Space could not have become what it is today without the support of our amazing team. And I just want to say a big, big thank you. This celebration of 15 years is really all about you, the team, the community, and everything that each of you has contributed to make this place run and nurture over the past 15 years. I bow to you with extreme gratitude. Namaste.